Good morning, everyone. I am Teacher Clark Arvini Peteño, your teacher podcaster in grade 5. Are my learners ready for today's lesson? Very good. Now, please get your self-learning module together with your paper and pen. Let's get started. Everything around us is matter: the soil, water, and air. Matter has different properties that make it distinct from one another. Some types have properties that make them good materials for producing useful products. Other types have properties that make them harmful. There are different materials found at home. These are important because they are used in our daily activities such as cooking, cleaning our houses, treating ailments, maintaining personal hygiene, and many more. It is important to know their properties so that we can identify whether a certain material is useful or harmful. For our lesson, you are expected to recognize useful and harmful materials. But before that, let us first test your existing knowledge about our topic for today by answering this preliminary activity. Shall we? Very well. Now, prepare your paper and pen. Let's start. In this activity, you are going to determine which of the activities below are desirable or harmful. Write D if desirable or H if harmful. Number 1. Placing biodegradable waste in the compost bin. If your answer is D, then you are correct. Biodegradable wastes are good fertilizer to plants. Number 2. Smelling the fumes exhausted by cars. If your answer is H, then you are right. Smelling fumes exhausted by cars isn't good because you might inhale some toxic chemicals from it. Number 3. Throwing banana peelings anywhere. If your answer is H, then you are correct. Throwing banana peelings anywhere is dangerous because it might cause slippery on the roadway. Number 4. Covering the textbook with acetate. If your answer is D, then you are right. Covering the textbook with acetate will add protection on its cover. Number 5. Burning plastic bottles. If your answer is H, then you are correct. Burning plastic bottles is dangerous because the smoke from it contains toxic substances that is bad for our health if we inhale it accidentally. Since we are done with the preliminary activity, let us have now a discussion about our topic. Please lend me your ears and listen attentively. Are you wondering how do materials become useful or harmful? Well, materials said to be useful when they serve their purpose. This may have the properties such as durability, flexibility, elasticity, hardness, and resistance to water, heat, or acid. Most of the useful materials can be reused and recycled. For example, a container for solid or liquid, when it is already empty, can still be used for another purposes such as flower vase, a coin bank, or a house decor. Whether a bottle is made of plastic or glass, it has a property that makes it reusable. Other materials can be recycled by making new products from these materials. For example, candy wrappers can be turned into fancy curtains and plastic bottles into Christmas lanterns. Some useful materials may also bring hazards. For example, a broken glass jar can cause cuts or injury. Toxic substances may also be present in the things you commonly use, such as paints, cleaners, fumes, gels, or powders. These materials may bring harm to your health, environment, and other organisms when not used properly. That's why you should be careful when handling and using different materials. To check if you have learned something from what I have discussed, let us have an activity. For this activity, you are going to draw a happy face if the material is useful and sad face if it is not. Number 1. Candy wrappers made into bag. If you draw a happy face, then you are correct, because candy wrappers was made into something useful instead of being thrown away anywhere. Number 2. A broken glass thrown in the backyard. If you draw a sad face, then you are right. Throwing broken glasses in the backyard is dangerous. Some might step on it and cut his or her feet. Number 3. Disinfectant bottles thrown everywhere. If you illustrated a sad face, then you are correct. You cannot just throw any disinfectant bottles everywhere, as it has to contain toxic substances that is harmful to everyone. It should be stored on the right place. Number 4. A box made into a bookshelf. If you illustrated a happy face, then you are absolutely right, because the box has been crafted into something useful, which being a bookshelf. Number 5. Leftover food from restaurant turned into a fertilizer. If you illustrated a happy face, then you are correct. Leftover foods are good fertilizer to plants. Number 6. Use syringes and needles placed beside children's toys. If you illustrated a sad face, then you are right. Placing syringes and needles beside children's toys is very dangerous. It can bring harm to them, so it must be kept away from them. Number 7. A broken container turned into a decorative plant holder. If you illustrated a happy face, then you got the right answer. The broken container served another useful purpose instead of being thrown away anywhere. Number 8. Used car tires turned into a park benches. If you illustrated a happy face, then you got it right. Many people can use this if they felt tired and want to sit down for a moment. Number 9. Old colorful magazines made into a paper baskets. If you illustrated a happy face, then you are correct. Instead of being stuck in the storage room, those old colorful magazines are being crafted into a useful paper baskets. Number 10. Empty bottles of paint thrown into the garbage bin for burning. A sad face is the correct illustration for this. Burning empty bottles of paint is dangerous, as the smoke that comes from it contains toxic substances that are harmful to those who can smell it and to the environment as well. Hope you got all the items correctly. So for your assignment, I want you to look around inside your house and list down 10 materials, then classify them as useful or harmful using a table. Do this in your assignment notebook. By now, I know that you, my young brilliant learners, have learned how to recognize useful and harmful materials. May you take this lesson into a real-life situation and apply it wisely. Once again, I am teacher Clark Ervin Ipiteño, your teacher podcaster for today's lesson. Goodbye my dear learners, and keep safe always. God bless.